I'm preaching to my customers that AdvanTech is a superior product for subfloors, but isn't that sawdust?
Composite is not as sawdust. It's actually flakes of wood. It's compressed. It's, once again, it's an engineered product using exterior grade resins that's compressed, and we probably sell 99.9% of our subfloors are AdvanTech because it has a better lifespan in the weather as opposed to plywood, because plywood is plies, so the moisture gets into the plies, and then we get delamination, which then bubbles, which a lot of times does not affect the integrity of the product, and the bubbles can either be, scraped out, cut out, or replaced, or what have you. But we just don't see the plies in the business anymore because some of these houses sit in the weather for a while, and AdvanTech has just proven itself in many ways.
And the traditional OSB just fails and swells.
Oh, it'll swell and change
the wall
height.
I don't want to get on the subject.
Do you know what the warranty is on AdvanTech?
Lifetime.
But my story on AdvanTech was we built a house. We had it completely framed in, other than the sheet of the roof sheeted completely. We had 80-mile-per-hour straight line winds come through. But we actually braced that home and left it on Friday. And Monday we came back and the house was leveled because the sheeting wasn't on the roof. We set the trusses. Those straight line winds took the house down. So we were working with a different supplier. We had to wait 2 months for trusses. Okay, so that house, we cleared it all off. The AdvanTech was the only thing left. The subfloor was the only thing left. Our original chalk lines were on there. We had to wait actually 3 months through all kinds of weather. We had ice on it. We had rain. We had the whole gamut. The AdvanTech did not change, other than slightly darkening the surface. Our original chalk lines were left. There was no swelling. My test framing hammer and just walloped on that AdvanTech and did not dent it. Okay, that's a great product. Yeah, so we will not use anything but AdvanTech for subfloor. But the reason I was going there is not all engineered products are bad.
I have one more comment on AdvanTech. So a good case in point for AdvanTech is I had a builder that built a relatively large house, used OSB on the walls, Tyvek'd it in. House went through the rainy season. He gets it all dried in, goes to set his windows, and the OSB on the exterior had swelled. So now his jam depth is not 6 9/16. He now has a custom jam depth on every window. So he came to me and he said, "Corey, how do we fix that?" And I said, "Well, AdvanTech sells 1/2 inch." And he said, "From now on, I'm building my walls with 1/2 inch AdvanTech." So we stock 1/2 inch AdvanTech for one customer that finds value in the fact that he's paying twice as much for.
What's the difference in the price?
Twice as much. He's
he's
paying
really
twice as much for his wall sheathing. But once again, somebody said to me once, we either pay for it now or we pay 3 times for it later. So his point was, I'll put the 1/2 inch AdvanTech on the walls, first of all, because of the structural, because of the swelling, but also structural integrity of the product. And he feels he's building a tighter envelope and a better envelope. But once he sets those windows, he has a bad situation now because those windows have been extended to 6 9/16. Now he either has to step back with a 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch parting stop, or he has to.
So typically they'll cut the drywall
and recess the casing.
Yes. And there is no good solution.
There is no good solution other than trying to. His point is when I build the big houses, it's the best solution.
Yeah. So the advantage of having 40 plus years of experience and 60 years of life is I've made a lot of mistakes, and we try to prevent those mistakes by what we design and what we order. Mm-hmm. So we've had those products. We've had issues with them, and that's the reason we just don't travel down that path anymore.